Picture this. It's late at night and you're scrolling through your feeds when all of a sudden you see it. That one product you've been looking for. You click on the link, add to your cart, maybe even shop around a little more before finally hitting checkout. As you're filling in your address, you realize you don't have your card anywhere. That's when you see it. That purple pay button that has all your info already saved, making checking out as easy as a simple tap of your screen.
See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. Go to shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. That's shopify.com/GoTouchGrass.
Picture this. It's late at night and you're scrolling through your feeds when all of a sudden you see it. That one product that you've been looking for. You click the link, add to cart, maybe even shop around a little before finally hitting checkout. As you're filling in your address, you realize you don't have your card anywhere near you. That's when you see it. The purple pay button that has all your information saved, making checking out as simple as a tap of your screen. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button.
Sign up for your $1 a month trial today at shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. Go to shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. That's shopify.com/GoTouchGrass.
You got mail.
Hi, I'm Millie Tamaris.
And I'm Elise Morales.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Elise and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can do literally anything else with your time.
Literally anything else. And if you like what you hear today and you want to hear more, we have a Go Touch Grass Patreon up and running with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series, Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. This week, based on a vote by our $10 patrons, we broke down the Call Her Daddy drama, the original...
Call her daddy drama, call her daddy drama.
Call her daddy drama.
You can say that 10 times fast.
Call her daddy drama. The original breakup between the host...
Sophia Franklin. Sophia with
Franklin,
an F.
With an F. And Miss Alex Cooper, who we've been talking about for many weeks now on the show. But we get back, we talk about the origins of Alex Cooper, the origins of Call Her Daddy. We get into a little Dave Portnoy talk. We have
to, if you're, listen, if you're part of any kind of gossip atmosphere in America, you're going to have to know who Dave Portnoy is.
You unfortunately do.
Sports, reality TV, whatever.
Pizza.
And pizza. This man has touched our pizza. It's fucked up, but that's America. Guys, speaking of America, you can check us on YouTube where we can have full episodes. I promise we're getting to them. And yeah, you can check out GoTouchGrassPodcast.com for upcoming merch that will be up there soon.
Yes. Now, let's do something else that's happening soon. We're bringing in our guest. It's happening imminently.
I feel like in seconds.
In seconds. We're going to have our guest on the mic. She is a hilarious stand-up. Her debut album, Hard Pass, came out in September 2019 and hit #1 on iTunes comedy charts. Her second album, Incurable Optimist, is out now on YouTube. Let's give a Go Touch Grass welcome to Katie Compa.
Woo! Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You're our first guest in this new studio.
Yes, so nice.
With you.
Oh
yes. And I see your comments because somebody on YouTube's like, would love to see the new studio. And I'm like, I gotta post the video. But yes,
it's
Katie.
Cute. There's games. There's a lounge area.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
It's really
and you
cute.
can see the new studio in our clips. So go to Instagram and look at our clips.
Sorry, it's hard being a bad bitch and have an editing queue. But anyway, back to you.
Back to you, Katie.
Katie, talk to us about your relationship with the internet and how you use it today and how maybe you used it in the past. And
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I'm 46, so
Wow.
I was around, like, I lived life without the internet, and
Wow.
then I lived life with the internet, and
Mhm.
there are good and bad things about both lifestyles, I think. I'm probably not, I'm probably
So Gen
not,
X?
I claim Gen X.
Okay.
Technically
Okay.
Xennial.
Important.
Yeah.
Exennial.
January
Exennial.
1980, so it's like right on the line.
Wow.
But I'm like, I think I have more of a Gen X. Like, I don't care about things aesthetic than I do.
That's
A millennial.
important, though, because
It's important.
I talk about this with my sister a lot because she's a zillennial, the
Mhm.
other side, and she feels very squarely down the middle, though slightly skewing more millennial
Yeah.
in her, like, outlook.
I
and
do have
vibe.
millennial tendencies in some ways, but I couldn't
But
name
also,
them for you.
she had a millennial older sister.
Well, that's the thing, and that sometimes that's the divide that people will say is that
Yeah.
if you had if you were an only child or had a younger sibling, you might lean more towards like the Gen Z side
Yeah.
of your
Mm-hmm.
zillennial or the millennial side of your exennial. But
Yeah.
if you had an older sibling, you might lean
Right.
to the older one.
I'm the
'cause-
older one, so
so-
I do have.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So that's different.
So, yeah, okay. So
Okay.
talk
But
to
I'm like, if I was born in the Carter administration, I think I can claim
I think
Gen
you
X
can claim
pretty
Gen
soon.
X.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if that's what feels right in your heart.
Yeah.
If that's what feels right to your soul.
So how do you feel like that affects your relationship with the internet? How do you feel like, as a Gen Xer, seeing all these millennials and Gen Zs fight, and
Yeah.
I want to know all your opinions about the internet right now.
I mean, I love it. It's definitely, I love it and I hate it, and I'm on it all the time. I'm definitely like, I've had to install like so many blockers on my phone to just stop me from. I'm resentful of how much they try to control us. It's like a Vegas casino in your phone.
Yes.
Where they're just manipulating all the time, trying to get you to scroll more.
Dopamine.
Yeah. And I listened to I think it was on NPR, where somebody was like, yeah, it's an attention economy, and growing a new human attention takes 9 months. And I was like, oh, that is disgusting. So I try to I literally do try to touch grass at least a few times a week because it just, I don't know, it's creepy,
What is go touch grass method? Like, what is your favorite method of touching grass? Like, do you literally go out and touch grass? Or
Yeah, I do have to leave the house because otherwise I'm like, oh, look, I'm back on my phone. Or I turned on the TV. Like, I have to get away from the screens. So I go for walks.
Yeah. I've been going for more walks in my life lately. Like, in the morning, I will get my coffee and then I'll do an extra just loop around the block and listen to a song
I wish
and
you could
think.
take Tino.
That would not be the restful situation I'm starting my day in sort of this restful Zen situation. And then I've been reading more again, thank God. So those are my two methods of touching.
Are you reading physical books? Or
Yeah, I'm reading Yesteryear, the book.
Oh my God, I really want to read that.
It's really good, and it's about a trad wife who gets transported back to the 1800s, and I'm like, I'm going to sit in my room now and read for 10 minutes. I'll put a timer on, and sometimes I end up being like, I want to continue reading.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm jumping out of my skin the entire time, and I'm like, great, I'm done. But to set the timer and just do it and be like, I'm going to attempt to concentrate on reading a book for this next 10 minutes. It has helped me. It has helped me recenter.
Yeah, I know people who take 30 minutes before they pick their phone up, and I'm like, I can't do that. I sleep too late. There are always urgent texts and emails that I'm like, oops, I didn't answer you yesterday, so I'm going to do it now.
Well, you inspired me to consider the brick.
I did get the brick.
Have you heard of the brick?
I've heard of the brick, yeah.
Yeah, Alyssa
I got the
has
brick.
it.
I got the brick, but sometimes I forget to brick my phone before bed, and then it all goes to shit because it's. I'll get in bed and be like, I don't want to get up and brick it.
Well, but even doing it less is better.
Yeah, doing it less is better. Speaking of something that is better than a lot of the stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Your special.
Oh, thank
is
you.
out.
Why don't where is this? Oh, me. Oh, okay.
Your special.
We're talking about you for now.
Incurable Optimist. Where did that come from? What inspired you to make the special and call it this and all those things?
The name came last, which was my first album. I knew it was Hard Pass. I called the taping Hard Pass, and then I was like, maybe I'll change it. And then I was like, nope, it's called Hard Pass. That's just my attitude towards everything.
Yeah.
Gen X.
Yeah.
Hard Pass.
Exactly, yeah. Like, we didn't make it up, but I'm claiming it. So, so this one, I worked with an independent label to put out the first one, and I was lucky to work with them again. And they asked me if I was interested in recording a second album, and I was like, "Are you why would you ask that?" Yes, I want to do it. But this time I recorded the special, and then I listened to it a bunch of times, and I had a short list of 7 names or something, and I kept sending them out and being like, "Please vote," and it would just be like the same number of people voting for the same things. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. There's like my opener is about a blessed event that has not happened yet.
Okay. I think I could guess about
It's that one.
Yeah.
It's the
when it happens.
real yes.
Capital I, capital H.
a really important one.
When DJT,
Yeah,
DI,
right.
Mhm.
Or maybe person.
Or it could be anything. It could be
Conceivably,
anything.
yeah.
It could be
Allegedly.
anything. It could be any event.
Right. So so I am like, there's good news out there, and I'm gonna see it. So.
So,
I'm optimistic,
You're the incurable optimist.
Wow.
That's beautiful. And that's, Gen X is not normally known as being incurably optimistic, but in the way that you just described it, they are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they're
Now you
always
get
looking
us.
forward to someone dying.
Yeah.
That's Gen X. Nothing for the future, no visions, no hopes and dreams. Just that someone's gonna die and they want to be around when they die.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to be a worldwide party. I don't think it matters your generation. I think we're all going to be in the streets.
And we're an anti-murder podcast.
Yes.
We say that all the time.
I'm not saying murder.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're talking about
We're
a
not talking about
natural thing
murder.
that happens to
ideally
every person.
televised, but I don't really care what.
And we can't even endorse that,
can't-
honestly.
We can't even say we
but-
can't say how anything will happen. All that we know is that everyone leaves this earth eventually.
Yeah.
Everyone
And that's going to
uses-
happen to every single
Yep.
person.
Yeah, and hopefully some leave sooner than others. But who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to
And
say?
we're not the makers of.
We don't get to decide that. We don't decide that.
Barely get to decide when our YouTube goes up. So the way that we don't have power.
No one gets to decide anything. None of us have any power. There's how many billionaires are there? Like 900?
Yeah,
they're deciding everything.
There are like 4 people that have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then most of us we're fighting over tiny
exactly,
scraps.
Scraps of power.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of power, let's talk about our software updates.
Okay.
Our segment of the show where we update you on something that we've covered on the past.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a true head,
Yeah.
if you're a true head of Go Touch Grass,
Grass Nation down.
if you're Grass Nation down and you watched our pilot
Mm-hmm.
that we made in September 2023, you will have seen that when we called the Grasshole of the Week, Club Chalamet. Simone Kroner, I think that's her
Gen
name.
X. A Gen Xer as well.
A Gen Xer.
I did not know
Older,
that
though.
about her.
It's hard to say. She's in her late 50s.
She's like 56, I think.
So Club Chalamet is a Stan account, or what was a
We'll
Stan
get into it, yeah.
A Stan account for Timothy Chalamet. And usually it's assumed that if you run one of those Stan accounts that do updates and stuff of a celebrity, you're a 17-year-old Brazilian gay teen.
Yeah.
But on 9/11 one year, which is why we talked about it in 2023, Club Chalamet posted a post about how she almost worked in the Trade Center, but something gave her a thing. And then a week later, the towers came down and everyone's like, how old are you? And she was outed as 57 in 20.
Yeah, so I guess she's like 58. She might even be 60 now.
She might be 60. Club Chalamet might be 60, which is, I don't think is 60 Gen X. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it is.
60 is Gen X? Okay, well, maybe she is Gen X.
Is a 60-year-old Gen X.
Find out. No, this is the important
This is important research.
And we'll get to important research later.
Okay, it's not answering.
If she's not, then she's a boomer, right? No, I don't think.
And then, that'd be crazy if a boomer
my mom's a boomer.
Yeah, your mom's a boomer. We don't need any more of those. I'm just kidding. I love my parents. My parents
don't worry. Yeah.
They
can't help when they were born. Okay,
can't
there
help
are
when
cool
they were
ones,
born.
but
Okay.
as a group.
Elise's phone has exploded.
I'm like, okay, if someone was 56 in 2020.
Do you have your calculator out?
I do.
Yeah.
They were born
Yes.
in 1967.
Stop.
Okay, she's 1965 is where Gen X starts. She was probably born in 1967.
She's a boomenial.
She's a boomix.
boomix.
A boomix. She's a boomix.
That sounds like hair gel they sell exclusively in Mexico. Anyway, the thing about Club Chalamet is that, that's so funny that we're talking about she's close to 60 because, as you know, as I've informed all the guys on my rotation, Saturn return happens every 30 years. So
that is so true.
Perhaps Club Chalamet is going through her second Saturn return, where she goes from adulthood to middle age, and she decided no mas for Timothy Chalamet because she posted this. She posted. I'm gonna just read the first 2 paragraphs.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is a long.
Because readers should know it's many paragraphs long.
Many paragraphs.
It's like I'm not reading all that paragraphs.
I've been having some very deep conversations with trusted friends whom I would not have in my life if it weren't for being part of the Chalamet fandom. We've all come to the same conclusion that things have changed in this fandom in such a significant way that we also have to adjust to the changes and focus on other interests that simply bring us joy. To deny the obvious is to be obtuse and bury your head in the sand. This fan community is not the same it was 4 years ago. The notable shift was exactly 12 months ago, and the clock, I think I have to read the whole thing,
Yeah.
and the clock started to tick. Basically, so much has changed from what we all initially signed up for.
The idea of signing up to be a fan of Timothy
fandom?
Chalamet.
It doesn't resemble what lured us in here in the first place.
Like a little hot French guy.
A little hot French
I
guy.
have skimmed to the end, and she's not going to say anything.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay, so Katie says don't read it out loud.
I mean, you can.
I mean, I'm just like laughing. Like, it's not about what she's saying, it's how she's saying it. And it's the fact that it's a 60-year-old woman talking about Timothy Chalamet. And really, this only happened when he started publicly claiming Kylie Jenner.
I do want to say this next line, which is Club Chalamet will continue to have a presence here, but it will be routine with updates related to Dune Part 3.
Which I'm eager to watch, especially after that 7-minute teaser at CinemaCon.
And then, yeah, it's really just her being like, I've loved being Club Chalamet, but
And follow me at Simone Cromer.
yeah,
Follow
she's
me
like,
at Simone Cromer.
she wants to branch out from Timothy.
Which she's done before. Again,
Yes.
she used to be a Michael Fassbender stan account.
Mhm.
Then when Michael Fassbender got married, no
Wow.
mas.
She fell for Tim.
And then I think there was Benedict Cumberbatch before Michael Fassbender. But I feel like I think it's when these guys get married. Maybe she heard something in the water that, because there have been predictions that Timothy and Kylie are gonna.
We've predicted
We've
here.
predicted.
We've thought that she has always had a particular disdain for Kylie. That's one of the things we talked about in the
Yeah.
pilot. One thing I will say is that because we did an episode where on our Patreon where we came up with our 2026 bingo card, and we discussed adding Club Chalamet moving on to that bingo card, but we didn't put it on because we thought she had another year with Timmy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We distinctly were like, no, he's got so many projects coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, she is excited about Dune Part 3 still.
Yeah, she's excited.
So maybe we don't count it yet. You can put it
Yeah,
on.
maybe he could get her back.
She put in her 2 weeks. Or like whatever month. She put in her resignation. She's letting everyone know
Yeah.
this shit is coming to a close. And because I said like, I think that Kylie's gonna be pregnant again
Mhm.
by the end of the year. But who knows if she wants a pure white baby? I mean,
Here's a question for both of you. Does Kylie want a pure white baby? No.
and that is really the point of Dune Part 3, if you really think about it. It's about who's getting a pure white baby and who's
And
not.
what abilities can that baby see the future in like crazy ways?
Kylie and Timothy's purely white baby see the future?
My question is, do we think Timothy knows that this has happened, that she's moved on? I would guess
I'm
yes
sure,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Timothy knows her. They've taken so many pictures.
Yeah.
She's so creepy.
Also, Timothy's team is aware of her because they have to have eyes on her.
Right,
at
they have
these
to have eyes
events.
on her. She's a okay, I'll say this. She's a black woman, but she's giving like if there was an audition for Kamala Harris,
Mhm.
Simone Cromer could show up. Like she's kind of the same genre as Kamala Harris. So she could really be a pull up any, you know what I mean? She's not as like, it's not a crazed teen fan.
Yeah, she's not a suspicious she's not a suspicious figure that you would normally clock in
right.
like a Timothy Chalamet environment. Like she's not the one that you would think you had to look for, but Timothy Chalamet's team certainly knows.
Certainly aware.
Certainly
They
is
keep
aware.
tabs.
Yeah.
And they should.
Here's my
Yes.
question. Do you think that they're relieved or nervous about this? Because I can go either way. I'm like, this can't be good for I don't know.
If she finds another fixation, they're fine.
Well, but also I'm like, but does that mean that it's the Timothy flop era? Because people do.
I do think that
So
I
it's the Timothy
wonder.
top
I don't care
era.
if it is.
Ye-
We're not talking
Let
about
him flop.
care. We don't care. We don't care about
Okay.
anything.
I want him to flop. Does that?
Okay, you
is
want
that
him
better?
to
Yeah.
flop.
Okay,
So you say that it does signify
I think
a
he
flop
needs.
era.
It's character building
Okay.
to have a flop
I
era.
do think that his team, they're probably like all joking about it, but it's one of those jokes where there's like, you can tell there's nervousness underneath.
Mhm.
I think that they do realize that between
She's
his
a
fight with the
bellwether
ballet,
Oh, the Oscar.
fight with the ballet and the fact that he lost the Oscar, that there was kind of negative vibes around his press tour by the end with Marty Supreme. I think that they're realizing that this is like a sign of what we talked about in our episode about the ballet thing, is just general anti-Timmy sentiment.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, they're probably nervous. And Miss Simone has hinted in the past that she might shift her energy to Mr. Connor's story.
Oh no,
the
Connor.
Russian
He
heated
has enough
rivalry.
to deal with.
He has a lot to deal with.
He has a lot to deal with.
But that's
What gay man doesn't want a 6-year-old black woman to be obsessed with him? I'm saying.
Especially one with her resume.
With her resume, like, she's got her eye on
Yes.
something.
Yeah, she is a tastemaker.
This does feel like an other two plot line where it's like there's a crazy adult fan woman where, like, on the one hand, you don't want to bring her attention to you because now she has fixated on you, but on the other hand, her fixating on you does mean that you're on the come up.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
it means that you're really hot right now, and like it's a good sign for your career. But then also now she is gonna follow you and like show up at your stuff.
Yeah, but you kind of want to ingratiate yourself to her. It's complicated.
She's never hurt anybody,
She's never hurt anybody.
as far as we know.
As far as we know. So that's the first software update.
And that's a big one.
And that's a big one.
huge.
And that's a big one. The second one is I think, right? I've accepted the price of being a bad bitch. And the price of being a bad bitch is that sometimes I'm gonna have to miss episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have to you're always not gonna get my take, and that's part of it.
But
you
your
know?
take was missed.
But my take
on
was
this.
missed. So I feel like where I could have provided some more context is
on Megan Thee Stallion.
On Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
is that the conversations that breakup started sparking in the Black community, in outside communities of, I get you kind of hinted towards it of like Black women getting mistreated, but also like it's also very interesting, even like culturally, how kind of we all criticize cheaters now, or like it's not cool to be a cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Before it would be the woman's fault, and like,
I've seen that. I've still seen that.
I've seen it too, but the fact that we even hear something else, which we do hear something else, is really interesting and cool, and it is showing. You do hear, but like it's again mostly older, like a lot of older men, and it's been really funny. But that's gonna have to be its own Patreon about all the Breakfast Club, Joe Budden's podcast, like all the responses about that. But a lot of Klay Thompson haters have come out, and the fact that there are Klay Thompson haters coming out does signify a shift in the right direction, right? And Klay Thompson did tell one of his haters to go touch grass, so we will have to cover that because that's really funny. He's not telling any of the guys that call him cool now for cheating on Megan Thee Stallion to touch grass, but he told this. But there might be one guy who needs to touch grass, and it is the account Retro Hoopers.
Okay.
So Retro Hoopers on Twitter, on X, has been tweeting incessantly about, and he makes and I'm saying I don't know what the it's giving whatever.
But Club Chalamet was giving 17-year-old Brazilian
gay
teens.
teens.
Yeah, so
we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. But this, I have my eyes on Retro. So first I'm going to read one of Retro Hoops' posts, and then we're going to play a game based on Retro's IP.
Okay.
So what Retro has been doing since the breakup has been making fan edits, which is like compilations of whatever, that all prove that Klay Thompson's gay. And stuff. So let's just read, a thing that Retro posted.
Okay.
Retro at Retro Hoops. I have 8 more days. This is all in caps. I have 8 more days to make as many Klay Thompson edits as I can before I have to decide if I take them all down and submit or get sued and let my family be financially ruined. Palin Thompson is spying on me and Claydom Hussein is trying to take me down. New Klay edit in. So again, that's retro.
Okay, and also it's attached to a picture. It's like a picture of Megan Thee Stallion's Instagram story when she must have posted Klay Thompson, but then he's put the word gay over it.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's
he or she. We don't know. They
have put gay over it. It's kind of funny in a way because it's obviously not true that Klay Thompson is gay. And it's kind of like a satirical comedy thing and like making stretches to like take Klay Thompson seem gay by like the way that he high five. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that there's this person named Retro Hoopers who hates Klay Thompson so much, makes gay edits. Klay Thompson has reached out and tried to sue and gave them till the end of the month to either stop making these gay edits or to get sued. And every day they until the deadline, they're releasing new edits saying that they have 7 more days, 6 more days, 5 more days, 4 more days. So that's retro. Now let's get to the game portion.
Okay.
So retro came up with all these different names to call Klay Thompson.
Okay.
So I'm going to read the tweet. So you're going to have to tell me your favorite one and why.
Okay. And these are all real names that he called Klay Thompson?
So this is a tweet that Retro put, and it says names to call Klay Thompson instead of Klay Thompson. All right, first, we have Darth Clader.
Okay.
Then we have Klaydolf Hitler.
Mm.
Then we have Al-Qaeda.
Mm.
Then we have Claypack. I don't know what that one. APAC. Wow.
Okay.
And that's why. Okay. Then we have the Claytel. Then we have the Clayatola. Then we have Klay Jong-un. Then Claydom Hussein.
Okay.
Clavid-19.
Okay.
John Wayne Clacy.
Okay. These are getting better.
Yeah.
And Al Claypone.
Okay. Darth Clader and Klaydolf Hitler don't do it for me. Just
They're
because I
all
feel like
kind of not relevant enough to what he did.
I like John Wayne Clacy. Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that the implication is because they're being silenced.
Yeah, that he's
a cheater, but also that he's silencing Retro Hoops.
That's why I feel like
edit. So
Clayatola has something to it.
Yeah, I do like Clayatola. Clayatola and Clavid-19 are probably my top.
Clavid-19.
Klay Jong-un doesn't work, but there's something.
Yeah, there's something there. I like Claydom Hussein and Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda. I just feel like the
Al-Qaeda ban, if you're going to talk about censorship and misogyny, the Qaeda ban was right there.
I like the ones that work as an individual person since he's an individual person.
Okay, so John Wayne Clacy?
Yeah, but I actually like the Clayatola. I think for what he's trying to communicate, the Clayatola works.
Okay, I think Claypack. Now that, I did not get the APAC until the Claypack.
But I feel like that's what's tough is that it's not as immediately apparent as some of these other ones.
Well, Al-Qaeda is the one that really stood out to me. And then you say it's Clavid-19. That's what you wrote down.
I did write it down.
You really took notes.
You took a note.
You said Clavid-19 stuck with you. And do you have a reason, rationale?
Just the, mind virus of it all.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems contagious.
Yeah, being a cheater is contagious.
And he's trying to shut this guy down. We had to shut down for COVID.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes on Retro Hoops.
Our eyes are on you.
Our eyes on Retro Hoopers. Sorry. Yeah. And the videos are so funny.
I mean, it is so oh, sure, whatever. He's not gay, so it is funny.
Yeah, I'm like,
Not-
I don't think that we need to put Klay Thompson on like gay men,
Yeah.
but I get that he's sort of trying to troll Klay Thompson. But then it's like, do I want to get into the psychology behind trolling Klay Thompson in this way? What that means?
Yeah,
what
what
is that
does that mean
trafficking
about-
in?
Yeah, I know.
What is it? You know,
It's complicated.
it's a complicated thing that Retro Hoopers is doing.
Yeah, but we had to give a shout
We
out
had
to
to give a shout out.
Al-Qaeda because, anyway. So now let's get to the discourse
Wow.
segment.
Wow.
That's it. Like,
Yeah, no, it's
those
time.
are software updates. Clavicular injected a teen with fat dissolving things on the internet.
Oh, we're actually going to get
Wait,
into that.
after the
Oh, we are?
okay.
little bit.
So
After
then
he OD'd though.
yes.
Post-OD.
Oh no, I think the charge was. We'll talk about it later.
okay.
We'll
Lock
talk
him
about-
up.
We're just going to get into clavicular injecting things
Okay,
into
cool,
other
cool,
people
cool.
later.
Okay,
so
okay,
don't
okay,
worry.
okay.
Don't
So-
worry. It'll be addressed.
that's
Now,
the
if you want to
problem.
make videos about somebody being gay,
Well,
Get on those edits, kids.
get on those
Get on those edits, kids.
Yes.
you got a real future.
Clavicular's gay. Well, you heard it here first.
No,
On
it was
the
not
Go Touch
first.
Grass pod.
No.
Oh, you did
Well,
hear it
it's not
loudly.
first. Because who knows when the YouTube's coming.
Yeah.
You heard it here at some point. You heard it here eventually.
And then this goes right into our discourse.
Okay.
Because our discourse today, Elise and Katie, our discourse is our segment of the show where we talk about kind of the main topic. It's like sometimes it's what everyone's talking about. Sometimes it's not what anyone's talking about. Sometimes it's what a corner of the internet's talking about.
Mhm.
And in this corner of the internet, I'm going to ask you two, what do you guys know about Wikipedia editors?
They're like elves.
They're like elves
Yeah,
in what
I
way?
mean, I picture them like living in little dens and
Yeah, and, like,
they don't go
typing,
outside.
typing,
They
typing,
do- yeah,
typing.
they look for typos and they look for like factual corrections that they can make.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it feels like being a Reddit mod to me. Like
Yeah.
it's someone who's doing an enormous amount of free labor
Mhm.
kind of for love of the game, I
Yeah.
guess.
But like the mods are interacting with other people. And
Yeah, no, this is
Reddit, I mean-
yeah, you're right. I like the elf imagery of them just like toiling
Yeah.
away.
Well, this gets into music Wikipedia drama.
Wow.
And like part of like the elves thing and the mods thing, I think what you could say about Wikipedia editors is that they are kind of leaving archival things for like future generations to
Yes.
discover. So in that way, they're like elves with extreme power.
Yes. I mean, Wikipedia is really important. And
oh my
like,
god, yeah, Trump's
like,
trying to shut it down, so you know it's
truly,
important.
Exactly. I'm like, and they do beg me for money all the time, and I still have not given them money. But at the end of the day, I do think what they're doing.
I've done
is
it. I'll do
important.
the like whatever the minimum is. Like
I've done
$5.80 or
$3
something. Yeah.
once,
Mhm.
and like God bless me for
Yeah.
it. I get emails all the goddamn
They just
time.
need a bunch of people to do $3 once. I'll do
Yeah.
it. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
you got
I
just do
use them.
$3
I use
once. The discourse today is about a article published in Pitchfork written by Kieran Press Reynolds. They use they them pronouns. And the article is called Meet the Young Wikipedians Writing the Front Page of Music History. Kieran Press Reynolds is a writer who right now has a weekly article in Pitchfork about the intersections of music and the internet, but very much markets themselves as like a Gen Z, like the only one talking about Gen Z issues, and like writes glowing profiles on GQ for people like Clavicular and Adam Friedlander and all these, so you kind of know the vibes. So in their article, basically what Kieran makes the case of is that since music journalism is slowly eroding, basically the only way that you can get something into Wikipedia is if another journalist or if a publication has already written about it.
Right.
So you can't just write shit.
Right. Oh my God.
Because that's the Wikipedia editing process.
I feel like I remember hearing this, and I forget who the person was, but that it was basically like this person was divorced, but no one had ever like written it up, and so like they couldn't get their Wikipedia to reflect that they were divorced until they had to like basically they had to like tweet something or like do something to create a situation in which an article would come out in which it was said that they were divorced so that the Wikipedia could be updated.
Yeah.
And that person was me. Just kidding.
Yeah, no.
I don't have a Wikipedia.
No, but like, yeah, so that was an author who got divorced,
Mm.
and she is now queer and had like a new queer relationship. And she was like, can somebody update? But the editors won't update anything unless there's another article about it so that they can verify that it really happened. So what happened was that woman had to tweet asking a journalist, and then a random person did a little interview about just that they're divorced and they're queer now. And then that got added to, but like, that's the only way that it works, right? So what happens is, because there's not that many Rolling Stones, there's not that many Pitchforks, and they don't have a lot of resources to cover like new forms of music and new kinds of subgenres and all that stuff. Like, what this article is about like the young people that are adding stuff to Wikipedia and like doing their own kind of thankless journalism just to make sure that there are pages for these new things, right? This is a quote from the article. It says, a batch of new Wikipedia writers have made a concerted effort to write entries for some of the most electric underground weirdness of the 2020s, to the chagrin of some longtime posters and the excitement of the artists getting their flowers. It's weird to think that just a handful of passionate, bored internet dwellers are sculpting the archives that people a decade from now will use to learn about this moment. So then the article goes and he talks to different people who are trying to break into the Wikipedia editing game.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm like just trying to imagine breaking into the Wikipedia.
Where do you network? Like, what?
Yeah. Who decides?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like,
All right.
I'm kind of
seeing.
fascinated. I'm like, well, what is the Wikipedia editing game?
So Amelia is a 23-year-old from Vienna, and she kind of focuses on updating the Wikipedias for local artists, but then also like she updated the Charlie Kirk Wikipedia page to add an article about how Austrian fascists did a vigil for him after he died. You know what I mean? So like you get people on the ground in different parts that see different articles and then whatever. So Amelia's goal is attaining extended confirmed status. So that's when your account exists for at least 30 days and makes 500 edits. And then once you get that, it grants you access to the Wikipedia library, which then gives you like basically free access to scientific journals like JSTOR. So once you're a confirmed like Wikipedia contributor, then you get access, you get like basically verified, or your profile is like highlighted, and then you get into like this thing where you can get even more information to verify.
Okay. Yeah, it's like when you're a student and you get access to JSTOR and all that stuff, but now like as a regular person I would have to like buy that normally.
And
Get
those
it from the
things are
library.
super expensive.
You got to go to the library.
Or you got to go to the library, and like the library won't let you download it. Like you can't do it from your house unless you're like are associated with an institution. So that seems to be the goal for many. But then Kieran really focuses the majority of the article by somebody who goes by the name of Articus. So I'm just going to read what Kieran said about Articus.
Articus is exactly what I imagine someone who like is high. Is like super into Wikipedia editing would call themselves.
Okay. So this is the intro to Articus. Then there's Kalichi Wisdom, a 20-year-old from Manchester known as Articus, who significantly contributed to the Wikipedia presence of basically every 2020s Uber Online's microgenre. Daria Core, Hex D, Digicore, as well as older sounds that didn't have pages or much detailed, like landfill indie, recession pop, and shitgaze. He spent 1,000 hours grinding Wikipedia since last July, essentially speed running the underground. Contributions include pages for the Lithuanian cloud prince Yajubin, Massachusetts weirdo Lucy, Thread Rap crew Reptilian Club Boys, and the Web3 streaming service Nina Protocol. He created a page for that one night at Lesser Free Trade Hall in 1976 when the Sex Pistols played to a crowd that included future members of Joy Division, the Smiths, and the Buzzcocks. Wisdom's profile page also includes rants ridiculing the windmill scene and saying Mark Fisher ruined 21st century art and that Kurt Cobain would shit his drawers if he heard Blady's Delete. And at one point, the profile included a diatribe against Anthony Fontano. Put a pin in Anthony Fontano. We'll get back to him later.
Okay.
So another music critic. But it broke Wikipedia's civility rule around bashing living people. In between periods of feverish data dumping, he manages to find time to skateboard and ride 5-hour trains down to London to see Bleod perform.
I have no idea what you just said.
There were so many words where I was like,
It was like clavicular got mogged and Joker maxing. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it was-
understand. Jester maxing, excuse me.
he was
Got that
Jester
wrong,
maxing, and we did break this down at one time. But no, I felt like we were both sitting here being like, that's a genre? That's a this? It was very like bleep blorp, some of the stuff you were saying.
I mean, my main takeaway is why are we trying to stop autism? We need these people.
Exactly. But okay, here's a question that I have. So do the people who edit Wikipedia stuff, they have like a profile where they can
Yeah, I
post?
guess
Like there's
so,
a
yeah.
social media kind of element to Wikipedia?
Yes, I think when you're in the like inner circle
See,
and you're
these are
getting
things I had no
I
extended
idea.
think even it
confirmed,
might be available even to us. Like you can look at there's somewhere on the page where you can see who
like
the
who
editors
edits
were.
it.
Yeah.
I know that they have 15 editors that they're like the board that ultimately decide, like especially with disputes, which we'll get to
Yeah.
later. But I know that when you have editors, like they do have a profile.
I just genuinely had no idea that feature exists. I'm going to start going off on Wikipedia. I didn't know that there was a post feature on Wikipedia that was just like for you personally. I thought the only thing that someone could do on Wikipedia would be to like read it or edit it. I didn't know there was a separate profile.
So I think that the separate profile, I guess, is for people to share, like, I like editing this, or these are my niche interests, or you can keep records of everything that everybody has edited in the past. But there are rules. There's like kind of unwritten rules about like, yeah, you use this to like talk about yourself, but not to talk shit about other people.
And I don't know if
who
you can
are
make your own
alive.
page. I feel like they might have a rule against you making your own page. Like someone else has to make it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think like the hyperlink Wikipedia page and like your own profile on Wikipedia that allows you editing access is different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. You can make a profile on Wikipedia, but even still, the profiles, like people, there's such like rules about ethics and code about Wikipedia that they don't play that. So also in the article, it comes to continue. It talks about how Eroticus has been banned repeatedly for adding things with no sources and engaging in edit wars, which involve repeatedly trying to add information after someone reverted the changes. So he'll add information that's not sourced well, and then somebody else will edit and be like, you have to take this out because there's no source. And edit wars are when the people go back and forth, which like the unwritten rule is to let the arbitration committee of 15 editors settle the beef. Like that's
Okay.
usually how it's done, right? Then it goes on to say that Articus made friends with an older wiki person who was like 64 years old, and you know, they were kind of trying to give him guidance to like cool off, but then kind of that person like unbanned Articus because they're like, they are doing these niche pages that nobody else is doing. So like, you know,
We need
maybe
them.
they're doing
Take the good with the bad. Yeah.
yeah, it's like maybe they're being annoying and like whatever, but they are doing whatever, right?
Mhm.
What they're doing that's like important is more valuable than what they're taking away and being annoying, maybe.
Yes, but you know what's hard about it is that it's all subjective because
Yeah.
it's music. But some of like Articus's mission in getting involved in Wikipedia, and again, this is going to be more mumble rap, but like these are getting into the nuances, which we're going to get to.
Mumble rap?
Mumble rap.
Okay.
Like it's yeah. So
Okay.
Wisdom, who believes that internet music is the most defining musical paradigm of the century, has made it his job to create a constellation of Wikipedia hyperlinks. Quote, before Digicore was a page, it redirected to Hyperpop. It was very important to
Okay.
fix the web, he says.
Hyperpop I've heard. Digicore I've never
I've
heard.
never heard of either.
Okay, I've heard of Hyperpop. Hyperpop is kind of like,
Charlie XCX,
yeah,
right?
Charlie
Okay,
XCX
okay.
makes like
Okay,
the,
makes sense, yeah.
like a kind of
Sounds
more
like what it would
popular,
be,
yeah. You click on Jerk and it goes to the 2000s Jerk rap page. It makes no sense. He's working, Articus is working on a new SoundCloud rap page because clicking SoundCloud rap currently redirects to the page for mumble rap, which he thinks is, quote, a crime against humanity. Most of this Wikipedia shit comes from the fact that I wanted to know the most innovative, important music of my generation, but there was no way to know, he explains. There was also no lineage to explain where everything was coming from. Juice WRLD is coming from the scene that Black Klay started. There was nothing. He believes he may have inspired yet another set of underground-focused Wikipedia heads. I feel like if I quit now, I've kind of started a wave. I was making Kuru draft yesterday, and then one of the guys finished it for me. He followed the way I've been editing the pages and citing the stuff. So basically, you're like, who cares about this shit? Basically, it's like no one else is doing it, and it's important. And actually, like, there's young 20-year-olds that are around the world that are doing it. And there are people who are even a little bit older than Articus that are having problems with how he does it, right? Now we're getting into the nuances of like Wikipedia etiquette, which is fucking crazy.
I mean, well, it's funny because like we're sitting here, right? And like I keep looking over at you during like as you're reading some of these like funny terms where I'm like, I've never heard of this. I don't know what Digipop is, but I'm like, but I guess if I needed to know, I would have to go to one of this guy's articles and he would tell me with sourced, hopefully, information. I guess maybe sometimes not, but like the point of Wikipedia is to help me to know what the bleep blurp means.
And also, like, it's important for this guy to note that, like, the Sex Pistols did a concert and all the members of all these other bands in a generation later were at that concert and influenced music. And then those guys influenced these guys and those guys influenced these guys. So in this guy's point of view, which I also understand, it's like, it's important to make these distinctions because they are going to lead to rippling effects, you know, in other ways.
It's like, you know, music history is important and like all of these niche genres, I've never heard of them. The names of them are silly to me, but like if your interest is studying music.
If they exist and they're not being hallucinated by an AI, then please put them on the internet.
Exactly,
yeah.
Put a Wikipedia page for them. Exactly.
Another thing is Erraticus gets called out by other Wikipedia people because they feel like he doesn't exercise enough caution, you know. And one of the people they asked about Articus' style is this 24-year-old with the last name Sumisu. So they're talking about how the 24-year-old is mentoring the 20-year-old.
Blind leading the blind.
The blind leading the blind. So Kieran, in the article, Kieran says he introduced the 24-year-old, introduced the 20-year-old to the informal policy of too soon or letting events develop fully before trying to prematurely historicize them. At one point, Sumisu threw some articles about the new wave grungy VST heavy shoegaze into the bottom of the shoegaze Wikipedia, noting that some people were calling it Zoomer gaze, something to keep an eye on. But wisdom ran with it and made an entire Zoomer gaze page that Sumizu thinks shouldn't exist. A precocious page could distort how the music is seen. So,
I don't know about that, unless it's like the scene is exclusively Wikipedia editors. Like someone will, it's going to clarify itself and someone will go fix the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I do get the idea of like you should let something play out before you write about it in terms of like an event, you know, like
9/11.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what YouTube documentaries come out about this. But I guess if it's like a movement, you can start a page and the page could develop, but maybe that's not how Wikipedia people think about these things.
Well, this article mostly highlights how difficult it is to have wikis about music because it's all subjective. Erraticus got fucking pushback because he attempted to overhaul the indie rock page, right? Which another person wrote because Erraticus wanted to make it more of the etymological history of indie as shorthand for independent music, rather than the actual sounds, which is, because there's indie music and then there's indie rock. So if someone looks up indie, are they looking up the etymology of like, how did this come up with?
Shouldn't that have its own page, indie?
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
so-
I'm thinking. I'm like, well, don't change, because both of those things seem deserving of a page to me. Or I feel
Those
like
are
the
big topics.
yeah.
Yes.
To me, the etymology, it makes more sense for the etymology to be a subsection of the page about the music than for the music to be subsumed by the etymology. Like, to me, if I'm looking up indie rock, it's because I want to know more, like, the history of that genre, not so much.
I'm also like, how much influence do you think that you have on indie rock? You know?
I know, I'm like, this is a big topic.
We have to be careful. We have too much power. No, you don't.
Yeah, so that's
You're
why
fine.
people don't like this young kid who thinks he knows everything about music. He knows a lot about that shit people don't about this subgenre, but and we'll get to where he gets his sources in a second. But then he's going and changing shit and then acting like everyone else is stupid and crazy for not like going with his things right away. And then, he gets into edit wars because the people who originally wrote it go back and change it to what it was, and he'll go back and change it, and then they don't get into that. And like that is, when we're talking about the free labor, that's like what these people do. They're meticulously pouring through boatloads of sources and double checking the work by journalists to make sure the history is accurate. So this also gets into how blogs and Substacks were not reliable until very recently. Before, blogs would be like not credible people, but now since journalism is dying, if a journalist has a Substack and they've written for other publications before, then that is a trusted source. But then for younger people's stuff, like they're never getting those journalist credits. So like,
and also knows? Is it like case by case basis determining whose Substack can count as a source? Does the simple fact that you were a journalist before mean that your Substack is automatically a source if we don't actually know how you're like coming up with the articles and stuff, like these are very interesting ethical questions.
Yeah, these are ethical quandaries. And also, I mean, I think you can even remember at a point where Wikipedia was like, it's not a reliable source or whatever. But now with AI, they've completely banned AI in editing. And like they banned slot pages from existing. So it's actually way more like qualified because there's a bunch of people editing.
And it already was. Like there was a study, I think it was in Nature. The study was in Nature about how accurate Wikipedia is. And it was like just as accurate as peer-reviewed journals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just so funny because like that was such a thing. I know when we were in school, like, of you can't use Wikipedia as a source, and like you can't use Wikipedia, and it's like it was always that I know that I can't cite it in my paper, but I can use it to learn about
there are
stuff,
citations
and it's
all over
accurate.
It. Like,
and I can click where they got that information and use that
information. Well, so getting back to like why these elves like to do this is a quote from the article. While Wikipedia writing looks mechanical as an outsider, there's an art to synthesizing information in a way that's engaging without editorializing. For Sumisu, the 24-year-old, editing Wikipedia can come with an inexplicable aesthetic pleasure, akin to when he was a child and spent hours gazing at houses he built in Minecraft. Quote, I really like looking at an article and going, that one looks pretty. I think that they get their joy from like not only having this article, but also like feeling like this is what people are going to use in 20 years to remember this thing.
Yeah.
So that's the Wikipedia article. And then we're going to get into the backlash.
Okay.
I honestly don't think I care about anything as much as they care about Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And I wish I did.
And that's Gen X.
I need some. Yeah, that's
and that's on Gen X.
Clocked. Wow. Okay.
and that's on a 90s kid.
Yeah.
But God bless, we all need a little bit. The thing is, we got to balance.
Yeah.
Everything's about balance. And the thing is, there are Gen Xer Wikipedia heads.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
So,
and they're in these edit wars for sure too. Like
they originated the role.
Exactly. I feel like the role of like ornery music guy who knows a ton about like every niche genre of music and feels very righteous about his music opinions. Like that guy's existed for a long
comic
time.
book guy from The Simpsons.
Truly, yes.
Yeah.
It's like maybe he hasn't always been able to edit Wikipedia pages, but he's been.
That was a big venue for him. It was a big deal when he finally got access to the expanded audience.
Exactly.
It used to be just people in the video store.
He used to just, exactly. He used to just like talk you down at a party and.
So what happens is TikToker at Ben.
You got at Ben.
At Ben, and then it's like 2 dots and a P, so it's like
so no.
Okay, no. He did not. I was just like, at Ben.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He did not get
Does
at
he own
Ben.
TikTok?
Exactly.
At Ben posts this thing, and Ben, just for context, Ben is a Wikipedia editor.
Okay.
So the caption for this says, "This is really extra, but I'm bored and I enjoy Wikipedia related scandal." Parentheses, "I'm also mad they didn't contact me." Hashtag Pitchfork, hashtag Kieran Press Reynolds, hashtag I didn't even know you had fans, hashtag underground music, hashtag Wikipedia. So it's a longer video, but I do think that because this is so niche and weird, like we do unfortunately have to watch the entire video. I mean, not the entire video. I'm going to skip a minute and a half into it.
So from the perspective of a Wikipedia editor, I can tell you, no, this is really not that interesting as far as Wikipedia drama goes. So I'm reading it and I'm still not understanding what about this person warrants writing essentially an entire piece about them for Pitchfork. But then there's a paragraph that talks briefly about Erraticus's profile or user page, where Kieran talks about how much he doesn't like the windmill scene or Mark Fisher. I think you're forgetting something, Kieran, which is the bright, gleaming endorsement of yourself that appears in the second paragraph of this user page, which reads, "Thank you," all caps, "Kieran Press Reynolds, for reviving contemporary music journalism. Most of the work you've done for Pitchfork in the Face in 2024 to 25 has allowed for many articles and developments to be named and added to Wikipedia. I hope critics fall out of prominence, instead replaced by young, personality-driven culture heads born in the 2000s to 2010s that are concerned with the real avant-garde forming on the internet rather than baseless word salad reviews of irrelevant indie rock bands playing genres that haven't been innovative since the 90s. Kieran Press Reynolds does not mention this endorsement of themselves once throughout this entire article. And you might be thinking, okay, if someone wrote an article about me in Pitchfork just for editing Wikipedia, I'd probably give them praise on my user page too. This article came out yesterday. That text about Kieran Press Reynolds has been on Erraticus's wiki page since July of 2025, which, according to this very article, is when he started editing Wikipedia. Now, if you don't think that this is enough evidence to prove that there's a bit of a conflict of interest here, oh, don't worry. I've got more. Kieran also mentions that Erraticus created a constellation of hyperlinks on Wikipedia, and perhaps the brightest star in that constellation is Kieran Press Reynolds' hyperlink on Erraticus's user page. If you click on it, you get redirected to the Wikipedia page of Kieran's father, Simon Reynolds, who is a legacy music journalist himself. Now, before this, I was not aware that Kieran is essentially a music journo nepo baby, so thanks for clearing that up. But if you go to check who added the information about Kieran to the page, wouldn't you know it, it was exclusively added by Erraticus a few months back. And, bonus points, in order for that link to work, someone had to create a page that redirected from Kieran Press Reynolds to Simon's page. Can you guess who made the redirect? So maybe you're saying, okay, so he talks about Kieran Press Reynolds a lot, big whoop, but he seems to edit a lot of other stuff. So here's the thing about that. Almost every single Wikipedia page Kieran mentions and links in this article they wrote cites themselves heavily. Out of the few pages linked in this piece that don't use them as a source, one of them is because it instead cites an article by Simon, Kieran's dad. Now, I would be fine with this if this was written instead as some sort of personal humble brag narrative about how I was woven into the fabric of Wikipedia thanks to some generous editors, and now I'm so important. But you're writing about your biggest fan and pretending they just happen to be the most fascinating person in the world without ever connecting those two thoughts, which in my mind is a really weird way to use the platform that you've been given. Imagine if Timothy Chalamet wrote a whole book about Club Chalamet and didn't mention the fact that she was a fan of him once. That would be weird.
Perfect.
Are they two different people or are they the same person?
Whoa.
Well, that's what people are
That's
saying.
a fascinating question.
That's
That's
what
a
people are
fascinating
saying.
question.
That's what people are alleging, but
I didn't even think
that
of
it
that.
could be the same person.
At a minimum, they're doing it, you know?
Yeah, I
Like-
mean they're engaged in a cyber play of sorts.
Yes. This is all really Shakespearean for being online.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like it's so funny. Like as this person was talking about all the articles that's like Kieran Press Reynolds wrote about this and then this person created the Wikipedia for that and cited that and blah, blah, blah. I was just like truly seeing this like web of hyperlinks and going back and everything.
A constellation, you mean?
Yes, a
constellation of
constellation.
hyperlinks that, and you know, again, it's just going back to like Kieran Press Reynolds as, you know, first of all, music journalist Nepo baby. Second of all, they only talk about Clavicular and Adam Friedlander. And then when they do talk about, it's like all their articles are about guys or mostly straight men, whatever. And then it's also like you highlighted the person that was like just highlighting your shit. You're whack.
Yeah.
So funny to me that like so much of the article is about like the intricacies of like Wikipedia ethics and like the ethics of like editing this or not editing or going back and this and that. And then this person is doing something that I feel like is pretty patently unethical, which is to write a legit journalistic piece about someone who is fawning over you too and not include that. Because I think if they had just said like they've written about me too, like, and they've cited my work, then it would be different. But
honestly, in any context, this would be shitty. If it was like a friend group, it would be shitty. Like,
well, it's also just like if they did that, then they couldn't link to all the things that that Articus linked, which was all the pages about all their articles. Daria Core, this and that. The Daria Core page was written by Articus based on an article written by Kieran. The HXC Web, all those bleep
of
bloop
the
pages.
1,000 hours or 1,000 edits. Like, I would like to see what percentage of Erraticus's edits map back to a Kieran Press Reynolds.
It seems like a big amount of it.
Yeah, I mean, it does make you be like, okay, so why did you choose this? Like, this is an interesting topic. This idea of like
the music thing in general, super interesting.
Yeah, like how do
there are more
music
people than
pages
just
get
Kieran writing
created?
about it. Yeah.
Who gets to write about them? This, that, and the other. Like that is interesting, but it's like the fact that they specifically chose to focus entirely on this one person when that person is very like enmeshed with them. Because I feel like, I mean, I'm not a journalist, I can't say, but I feel like there is a point where it's like, hey, I can't write this story because this person has cited me so many times and like has shouted me out on their weird Wikipedia profile that
before I wrote anything.
Yeah, before. So, but like, there's something interesting here. Like, I don't know if journalists like do that with each other to be like, I can't write this, but you can write it.
That's what they should do, or just say like an hour with the guy who's obsessed with me, or like wrote the Wikipedia page about everything, and we talk about the importance, like whatever. Anyway, one of the people that they talk shit about was Anthony Fantino. He's a very popular internet music critic. He has 3 million YouTube followers. Very, very popular. He posted this video seemingly with no context, but now we know the context, and then we'll wrap.
Okay.
I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I will say this. I didn't Nepo my way into this industry, and I never had to have some bitter loser on Wikipedia fabricate my relevance, and I never will. Mwah.
Ooh, well.
And I feel like that's a good like little wrap of this topic, because it's like he really got that.
He took me right to that conclusion.
Yeah,
and I'm there now. I live there.
Yeah,
Anthony Fantano, good job, great post.
Anthony Fantano, we do have to say, got into trouble. He needs his own episode because he did get into trouble for saying the N-word and an F-word in a review, whatever. But for this one instance, Anthony Fantano, you ate it.
Yeah, I'll say Anthony Fantano, good post this time. Can't speak to all of your posts.
Yes.
I cannot speak to any. I can't speak to all of anyone's
First
posts.
time I've seen that.
Yeah.
Even my own. Even my own. Okay, it is time for our final segment. This is our segment called Grasshole of the Week.
Starting something isn't just hard, it's terrifying. So much work goes into this thing that you're not entirely sure will work out, and it can be hard to make that leap of faith. Trust me, I know. When I started this podcast, I wasn't even sure what I was doing. What if no one listens? What if I make a fool of myself always? What if no one buys my merch? Now I know that I was right in believing in myself and launching Go Touch Grass. Despite all these fears and hesitations, it also helps to have a partner like Elise and also like Shopify on your side to help.
Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. From household names like Go Touch Grass to brands just getting started like Go Touch Grass. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand's style. Accelerate your efficiency whether you're uploading new products or trying to improve existing ones. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography.
It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. Go to shopify.com/GoTouchGrass. That's shopify.com/GoTouchGrass.
This is where you talk about the person, people, places, things that need to log off the most. We are talking about a group of people here. We are also doing a little bit of an article deep dive here. A lot of what I'm going to talk about is based on an article by Ezra Marcus that came out in January in The Intelligencer called Life on Peptides Feels Amazing, says everyone who's buying from Looksmaxers on Instagram or AI bots in China and injecting them into their bloodstream.
God.
Nice.
So our Grasshole this week is people who are buying peptides from like influencers and injecting them into their bodies. Do you guys, what is your relationship with peptides? Have you heard of this health phenomenon?
Can you eat them?
You can eat them.
I think I've eaten them.
You can eat them. You can definitely eat them.
But not like not as a supplement.
Serums? Isn't there peptide
There's
serums?
serums. So I was going to say, I have a collagen peptide powder that I'll put in a smoothie.
Uh-huh.
And I also do have the Ordinary's multi-peptide serum.
Okay.
The P in GLP-1 stands for peptide.
Oh.
Peptides are, let me read, and this is copy-pasted from probably Wikipedia.
Oh.
Peptides are a naturally occurring chain of amino acids that send signals to our bodies to perform important processes. They regulate the immune system, grow cells, reduce inflammation, manage hormones, and more. They're basically like I read a thing that called them the body's messengers, so they can like tell your skin to make more collagen, tell your muscles to grow bigger. They're these messengers. And they've been popular with bodybuilders for a while. So a lot of the influencers who are pushing this stuff are these like super jacked dudes talking about how to gain muscle. Okay, so here's a couple TikTok posts of influencers who are pushing peptides. We'll see on the left, Clavicular injects his 17-year-old girlfriend with peptides to look max her. Arrest him.
Yeah, so actually he did get arrested for that.
Okay. Yeah.
This week.
For injecting a teenager in the face with peptides. Then we have this woman in the middle who says, my spicy stack to stay young, hot, petite, and full of energy. And then I would say this guy on the right is the most classic peptide type influencer, and it's Peptide 101, biggest misconceptions about peptides, and he's like a jacked guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much living in like the looks maxing world with Clavicular. Unsurprisingly, Joe Rogan very into peptides. Unsurprisingly, RFK Jr. recently promised to end the FDA's war on peptides.
Oh my God. But God forbid you inject yourself with a vaccine.
No, but you can inject yourself with this. You can inject a teenage girl.
What you just said is like the best ad against peptides. It's like a public health campaign.
True.
Like, these guys use them. I'm like, all right, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So, okay, the thing with these peptides, right, is like all of us could probably go to a med spa in the next like 15 minutes and get a lady in scrubs to inject us with some peptides. NAD plus is a big one. That's like the anti-aging one. People say they can fix your sleep, heal your gut, change your immune system. They can supposedly do all sorts of things. And some things like they can do. And you can get them injected like reasonably in an office, or there's also like you can order them from legit people. But in the last year or so, unregulated peptides have flooded the market mainly through like these types of social media people. And these include the injectable peptides, and they're purchasing them from these like random factories in China.
Yeah, God knows what's in there.
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain I accidentally roofied myself one time because my friend got what was it, like Ativan or something from China, and it was not. Like
And
it was roofies.
not
Yeah.
Ativan.
What's Ativan?
It's like an anti-anxiety drug.
Okay, well, you didn't have anxiety when you were knocked the fuck out, I guess. So there we go.
I wasn't knocked out. I was at a concert. I just was like, we have to go right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling worse than ever before. So, okay, this guy, Ezra Miller, who did the article, looks into one of the more, like, I guess you would say, like, legit group. But again, like, none of this stuff is really FDA approved, regulated, etc. But he went to this Atlas Men's Health place, and this is a quote from the article. The clinic's motto, dominate the day. Its website features a variety of AI-generated images of smiling women in athleisure and shirtless men, including one with bulging biceps holding an oversized photorealistic eggplant advertising the Priapus shot, a penis injection for erectile dysfunction. So people are injecting their dicks with this stuff. He ends up getting a peptide injection of NAD+, which he pays...
The guy gets it
He does,
for the
he does.
article? Jesus.
He does. But
In his penis?
No, not in
Okay.
the penis.
No,
this is just a
regular peptide.
The NAD injections are probably like one of the most common. You can do them at med spas. In terms of like the safety of them, this is probably the most safe
Safest, yeah.
things. Whatever, he gets them from this place. I think you do like mix them up at home. It's kind of like what I did to like freeze my eggs. Like you like reconstitute them
Yeah.
and mix them up and inject them. He pays $250 for a 6-week supply. And he does say that after he injects it, he feels a warm glow spread through my limbs like a sort of milder version of the rush produced by Adderall.
Red flag.
So,
Okay.
whatever. Okay.
I can't believe he wrote this. He did this to write an article to get $200.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is writing for the Intelligencer, so I feel like he probably is getting like real money.
Okay.
And they
$5,000.
And they probably comped the 250.
Yeah, my guess is that they paid him for the NAD+. But anyway, this is being proliferated online by like influencers, Reddit. There are Discord chats where people talk about their stacks,
Yeah.
which are like the combinations of peptides that you inject and use. So these are some common peptide stacks. The Wolverine stack for recovery and repair is BPC 157 combined with TB 500, and it's used for injury recovery, reducing inflammation, and joint health.
That's sick.
Wolverine.
Sick. That's Gen X. Don't roll your eyes at Wolverine. That's Gen X.
I'm rolling my eyes
That's
at the Wolverine
X-Men.
stack. Not at Wolverine.
stack.
I'm
That's
kidding.
different.
That's Gen
I watched the cartoon.
Yeah, Gen X 97.
There's a fat burner stack, which like has a GLP-1 in it. There's a glow stack, which is for like anti-aging, and people share all this information. So I went to some peptide related
Oh, no.
Reddit pages today. This is from our Peptides with 2 S's. Ashok 292 posted, sickness or something else? Peptides. Hello, looking to see if anyone else has experienced similar or whether it's something else. I've been on BPC, TB500, GKCU, and Sermorelin for 3 weeks and had no issues at all. I've done BPC, TB previously twice over the year with no issues. I've recently become unwell last week. I stopped using peptides at this point. I've had sickness, weak, no appetite, like a virus type thing, but not really vomiting. The strange thing is that when it happened, all my previous injection points have all bruised badly, so my stomach and leg look a mess, and it's stayed like that for a week, just going down now. Bruises appearing from lifting things which would normally not bruise me. So this is the type of stuff that they're posting and asking just other Reddit users, help me research. So it's like people will just be like, injection pain. Test subject has been on Reddit for 4 weeks and down 15 pounds, and injections have become so painful they can't even do them. Needle can't even pierce the skin without extreme pain. Been injected.
Get into close up to Katie's face. Close up to Katie's face. She's horrified.
It's like these people are going for advice. They're sharing this stuff with each other on Reddit. And so they're getting this stuff on Reddit or TikTok or their favorite influencer, and then they go into these med spas, but also they are now chasing lower prices. And one of the things a lot of them will talk about on here is like where to get the lowest prices on these peptides. And the way you do that is you buy directly from these factories in China. So in the article, this one guy wants to buy tirzepatide, which is part of like the GLP-1 world. Like when you get a million ads a day for GLP-1s. They often are like tirzepatide too.
Yeah.
So he wants to
what
get
the Mormon wife girl's addicted to.
Yeah. So they want to get tirzepatide and NAD plus. If you buy this from a regulated source, which still we don't even know what it does to you, but it's at least a regulated source, it's $480. Guess how much it costs from China?
48.
$20.
Oh.
$20.
I hope it's saline. I hope to God it's saline.
Sometimes it is. They're pushing tons of this stuff. Like, the author then goes into, like, there are these peptide dealers on Discord that you can get in touch with. And he said that all of them were female and had what looked like AI-generated avatars. And he asked one of them how much of a supply he could get a month. And they said they could send him 1 million vials for $10 a vial.
It sounds like an AI chatbot. Being like,
I think
of
they
course,
are.
1 million vials. Here you go.
The way they talked, it seems very, like, off. But, and also he was saying that, like, you know, he would talk to one of them and then go away because he wasn't actually, like, trying to buy 1 million vials of tirzepatide or whatever. And then it would come back and be like, hey, do you still want them? Like, they're, like, really pushy.
Yeah.
The author also found that a bunch of kids at New York's elite prep schools are buying these things from TikTok influencers and hiding it from their parents and injecting themselves.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing is that, like, the thing is that all those influencers, we cringe at them because our frontal cortex has been developed, but, like, these kids are just doing this shit. And, like, when we say, like, there's so many benefits to GLP-1s and all of that for so many people, but you have to be under a doctor to be monitoring that. It does not react to everyone. And then a lot of these kids, you know, and what you find out in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is that this girl's taking it so she can lose 15 pounds, to lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds. That's even, like, one of the Nader sisters is addicted to GLP-1s. Like, it should lose, like, to be into this heroin chic shit that's popular now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get ads that are like, I'm not overweight, but I want to lose 10 pounds. And it's for, like, whatever new GLP-1 thing is. But it's also all tied to, like, the looks maxing shit.
Yeah.
And it's these, like, young boys who are getting served these, like, jacked dudes. And it's women, too, like, who are getting served it for, like, skincare related stuff. But a lot of it is, like, yeah, these jacked dudes who are like, you can use this to grow muscle. And then when you're already maybe like a young boy who follows clavicular, and this is a guy who hits his own face with a hammer to make his jawline look good, does it actually seem that crazy to inject yourself with random stuff if you're already hitting yourself in the face with a hammer?
If they're selling it at some places and you're just finding it cheaper on the other places.
And if every morning your mom injects herself with a GLP-1 and you see it, like, people are like it's being normalized to, like, inject yourself with stuff and do these, like, extreme looks maxing things. So when you live in that ecosystem as a kid,
and
maybe
Botox, it's all like, yeah.
I have
mean,
so many days where I'm like, just shut us down. We're
Truly.
done. The experiment is over.
Yeah,
like,
factory reset.
yeah. Send the
Truly.
flood.
Like, because to me it seems so crazy to inject yourself with anything that is not, like, strictly
Like insulin,
supervised
yeah.
by a doctor. Or, like, when I was so meticulous about doing the egg freezing stuff and blah blah blah, because it's like you can really hurt yourself if you're not using sterile needles. Like, where are these kids getting sterile needles? Do they have a sharps container? Like, this is not good.
Yeah.
But they live in a world where people are doing all these extreme things to look good, get ripped, whatever. And, like, you are seeing, I mean, how many GLP-1 commercials do we see all the time that it's just like
Lost count.
injecting, that it's like maybe they don't think
like
it's strange.
Serena Williams, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Serena Williams.
Yep.
It's the most popular people. It's everyone that you follow and everyone you think is cool, even if they're not ever been fat. Even if they've never whatever, you see that they do it, so whatever. And also, you see how people talk about people who look different or this and that. Now that's why we say go touch grass, because you got to go outside and experience, like, real human beings and see that, like, okay, somebody on the internet, like, just because somebody says something on the internet, like, that's not real life. Or, like, maybe you think having a chiseled jaw or not being pudgy or whatever is the thing that's stopping you from your dreams.
Yeah.
But when you get older enough, you realize you're the only thing that's stopping you.
You know what I do think will stop you, though? Getting gangrene because you injected yourself with some
and, like,
crazy...
if you get gangrene on your stomach,
Yeah.
that's it.
And there are side effects. So in the article, they talk about one guy who said he got kidney stones after doing this. A 40-year-old woman said she went through a second puberty.
Cool.
What does that mean?
She was like,
that sounds
boobs
terrible.
started to grow crazy.
Like, she
it
had
was
4?
not good. I think they were getting bigger, and then also she was getting acne. It put her hormones crazy. And most notably, earlier this year, 2 women were hospitalized after they injected themselves with peptides at this MAHA adjacent event. For anyone who doesn't know, that's Make America Healthy Again. It's the RFK wing of the Republican Party. The event was called Revolution Against Aging and Death Festival.
Oh, my God.
Well, it sounds like it's a
and
revolution.
they injected themselves with peptides and got hospitalized.
Each day I get closer to embracing death, and I feel several steps closer today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's I actually don't want to join the revolution against aging and death.
No.
Well, I just know that there is a reality star's daughter who is 26 or 27 and has to get reconstructive surgery because she got on GLP-1s, even though she was never, ever, ever even close to fat, but wanted to be that skinny that only 3% of the population is naturally, and now has all this excess skin.
Yeah.
And is 26 having to redo her boobs and all this, and it's just for what?
That's crazy. Go
but
eat a cheeseburger. Just go off it and go enjoy your life.
I
Have
love my food
Like,
noise.
yeah.
That's what I'll say. I
Yeah.
love my food noise. I want to keep it.
Oh my God, I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
and soon the episode's going to be over and then I'm going to have a little snack.
I saw there's Fritos out there.
To get us to our snack, I will end with this one final fact, which is that peptide testing startup Finric found that 30% of the peptides that they tested were either mislabeled, over or underdosed, or contaminated with toxins and foreign bacteria. So
nice.
That's Russian roulette, man.
Yeah, I know. It's you just can't be injecting yourself with random
People get this shit on Temu, on TikTok, on everything.
They'll buy it on WhatsApp and Discord, or they'll buy it from these TikTokers, not realizing that these TikTokers are buying it from these Discord China factory things. So it's for the crime of selling dubious peptides online. And then I wouldn't call this a crime, but I am nervous for you. Anyone who is buying and injecting themselves with peptides online, we have to say, go touch grass. Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Go outside. Go for a walk. You could lose 10 pounds maybe,
Drink
but
some
also
water.
You don't need to lose 10 pounds.
You don't know how much longer you're going to have water. Drink some water.
Drink some water and 10 pounds,
is it worth
not
that
gonna
much?
make or break anything.
You're still going to be the same shitty person.
Yeah.
So work on that.
Yeah, work on who you are as a person. Work on having fun outside, but don't inject yourself with random peptides that you bought online.
Or anything, really.
Or anything that you randomly bought.
Unless you're diabetic.
Right. And then get that from a doctor, too.
You need it from a doctor, but you also know what's online. Don't get peptides online. Follow our friend Kate Compa. Why don't you tell us, where can we find you?
I can be found on all the social networks except TikTok because I can't deal with more screen time.
Because you bought too many peptides on there.
Yes, that's right.
You were I'm flooded with peptides.
I was actually selling them, so I'm set for life, but banned from TikTok. So I'm at Katie Compa, KATIECOM as in Mary, P as in Paul A on wherever you can find me. You can go looking.
Yeah,
incredible. And you can find us at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything, and me at Pandalise on Instagram, and Lise Navidad on TikTok.
And you can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and at Millie Tamaris on Twitter. And until next time,
go touch grass.
Go Touch Grass is created and hosted by Elise Morales and Millie Tamaris.
And our theme song is by Doug Wydick.
Picture this. It's late at night and you're scrolling through your feeds when all of a sudden you see it. That one product you've been looking for. You click on the link, add to your cart, maybe even shop around a little more before finally hitting checkout. As you're filling in your address, you realize you don't have your card anywhere. That's when you see it. That purple pay button that has all your info already saved, making checking out as easy as a simple tap of your screen.
See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/gotouchgrass. Go to shopify.com/gotouchgrass. That's shopify.com/gotouchgrass.